To build a flawlessly functioning society, you cannot rely on human beings. People are driven by desires, whims, and unpredictable choices. If you want to construct a perfect social machine, you have to eliminate the one variable that refuses to be calculated: human freedom. This is the exact premise explored by Russian author Yevgeny Zamyatin. Writing in 1920, Zamyatin envisioned a dystopian society called the One State. He structured this world around a strict mathematical equation where freedom and happiness sit on opposite sides of the scale. Look at how the state justifies this equation. They argue that individual liberty invites unpredictable behavior, which inevitably leads to conflict and crime. But if you reduce freedom to absolute zero, crime also drops to zero. At that point, collective happiness is mathematically guaranteed. In this system, there is no room for individual desires. The One State enforces brutal equilibrium, sacrificing the chaotic unpredictability of a free life for the sterile safety of total order. We experience this society through the eyes of D503. He is a mathematician and the chief builder of a spaceship meant to export the state's perfection to other planets. He is not a person with a name. He, like every other citizen, is simply a number. By stripping away names, the One State surgically removes the roots of envy and personal ambition. D503 doesn't see himself as an individual man. He views himself merely as a single, interchangeable cell operating within a million-handed body. Zamyatin drew heavy inspiration for this from Frederick Winslow Taylor, the real-world pioneer of scientific management. Taylor's theories sought to maximize industrial efficiency by breaking human labor down into highly repetitive, standardized motions. In the One State, Taylorism provides the blueprint for all human existence. Thousands of numbers wake up, lift a spoon to their mouths, and report to work at the exact same second, moving with pendulum-like precision. By converting messy, unpredictable people into identical, quantifiable data points, the state believes it has engineered a permanent end to human conflict. To enforce this mathematical harmony, the state relies on a highly specific physical environment. The architecture of the One State consists entirely of transparent glass cubes, stretching out beneath an unblemished, sterile sky. Glass eliminates shadows, and more importantly, it eliminates privacy. Without walls to hide behind, secrets cannot form. Every citizen is constantly visible to their neighbors, transforming the entire population into a self-surveilling network. This visual shows the table of hours. It's a master schedule dividing the 86,400 seconds of every day into a flawless geometric grid, prescribing the exact moment every citizen sleeps, works, and eats. But look at these two isolated blocks of time. These are the personal hours, brief daily windows where citizens are allowed to lower their blinds. For the state, these unstructured minutes are dangerous because this is where unpredictable thoughts form. To manage the risk of these personal hours, the state embeds a secret police force known as the Guardians directly into the population. Their job is to identify and remove any number who strays from the calculated norm. Through transparent walls, rigid synchronized schedules, and hidden surveillance, the One State constructs an airtight environment. Any deviation from the routine is treated as a mechanical breakdown that threatens the entire apparatus of society. That apparatus suffers a critical failure when D503 meets I330, a woman who defies the state's logic. Drawn into a secret relationship with her, D503 begins to experience erratic, unscheduled emotions, like jealousy and passionate desire. As a mathematician, D503 has no vocabulary for human passion. He tries to process his overwhelming feelings through the only lens he understands. We can see his psychological crisis in this equation. D503 categorizes his nonconformist thoughts as an irrational number, the square root of -1. He feels this unsolvable value spreading through his previously balanced mind. Seeking a cure for this chaos, he visits a medical office. The doctor gives him a horrifying diagnosis. D503 has developed a soul. In the One State, an individual identity is classified as an incurable, fatal disease. D503's breakdown exposes the flaw in the one state's design. Their master equation requires absolute predictability, but it completely fails to account for the organic nature of human emotion. The state soon realizes that architecture and schedules are useless if they cannot control the interior of a citizen's mind. As long as the human brain retains the capacity to dream, the system is vulnerable. They identify the ultimate source of this friction: imagination. It is the disease that generates desires, dissatisfaction, and eventually revolution. To neutralize this threat, the state mandates a final solution: the Great Operation, a surgical procedure designed to physically eradicate imagination from every citizen. The procedure involves a triple X-ray cautery of the brain. Doctors literally burn away the nodule responsible for independent thought, ensuring the patient can never again generate an unpredictable idea. This physical mutilation represents the logical endpoint of the state's philosophy. To permanently balance their equation of absolute order, they willingly lobotomize their entire population, choosing machine-like perfection over human reality. Unable to bear the agonizing burden of his new soul, D503 surrenders. He voluntarily submits to the Great Operation, allowing the state to burn away his imagination and restore him to an obedient, unfeeling number. The effectiveness of the cure is tested almost immediately. A newly lobotomized D503 sits calmly in an auditorium, watching I-330, the woman he once loved, executed in the benefactor's machine. He feels absolutely nothing. His internal monologue, previously racked with the poetry of human suffering, reverts to cold data. He watches her die and feels only a quiet appreciation for the rational geometry of the execution device. Zamyatin leaves his readers with a stark warning. If a society demands absolute mathematical order above all else, it must eventually eradicate humanity itself. Because to be human is to be stubborn, irrational, and relentlessly free.